There were some yobs beating up an old lady in the street today. And you know what? No one did a thing. No one lifted a finger to help her. I stood there and watched for at least 5 minutes and no one did a thing.
And there always a way, eh?
Huzzah! Oh, yes, I might have guessed. I just might have guessed. It's always the same round here, isn't it? There's no privacy. It's like living in a blooming goldfish bowl. Try and do a bit of business on the side and you end up finding Bezza's nose in it. Well, there's no need to get upset. It's a sack! All right, a sack. Huzzah's brought a sack into the pretend pub. Is that a crime? Are the soles of my feet to be beaten with bamboo shoots? This is England, Bezza. England. Not Birmingham. And England, I hope, is still a place where the ordinary chap can take a sack into his local pretend pub without being asked a lot of fatuous, moronic questions like, what's in your sack, Huzzah?
I wanted to know the time.
What?
Well, I didn't want to know what was in your sack. I wanted to know the time.
Oh, I see. I see what's going on. It's one of those terribly clever let's put Huzzah down games, isn't it? Oh, Huzzah's got an interesting looking sack. Let's see if we can drive him crazy by not asking him what's in it. Is that what you're up to? Yes, I rather think it is. Well, you've played right into my hands, haven't you? Because I'm not going to tell you, so there's no point in asking.
Oh, come on, Huzzah. Stop being so bloody paranoid. What's in your sack?
Yeah. God, it's like talking to a tin of pilchards. Have I just said I'm not going to tell you? It's none of your business.
Well,
Very nice.
Oh, all right. If you're going to go on and on about it, I suppose I'll have to tell you, it's a sack of nuclear waste.
When will the soldiers come, Pepe?
They will come when they will come, little one.
Don't think I'm afraid, Pepe. I am not afraid of the soldiers.
I know you're not afraid of the soldiers, Rabbit.
Whenever I begin to feel afraid, I tell myself how much I hate the fascists. And then I'm not afraid anymore. My hatred gives me strength, Pepe. Is that wrong?
We must all take our strength where we can find it. Hedgehog.
I hate the fascists very much, Pepe. I hate the way they go on and on saying that they love you and they want you to share in their loving experience.
That's not fascism, strictly speaking, is it?
No, but the fascists do that and I hate it.
Not very often.
You seem to forget, Pepe, that I spent 4 months in the hands of the fascists, listening to their preachings, joining in their pathetic guitar songs.
Ah, you're thinking of the flower people.
What are you saying, Pepe? I am a flower person.
No, you're a revolutionary. The fascists wear the funny uniforms and torture people, and it's the flower people who sing the songs and love each other.
Suddenly, I feel very afraid. Please, Pepe, hold my foot.
Sean? It's me. Miss Sexual Independence 1984. Just got back from family planning, right? Well, I got in, right, and this rat bag really laid into me, all about did my mum know and how old was I? Oh, no, I lied.
19. But it was awful shock. She asked me what year I was born in, right, and I hadn't worked it out. So I said, I couldn't remember because it was such a long time ago. No, that was not all. She had to measure me up for it, didn't she? And I won't go into detail, Sharp, but it wasn't half painful. These are sort of metal plunger things make you feel like a shish kebab. Oh, no, it's a horrible little thing. It's all sort of surgical and plastic. And what with the cream shot, I am telling you, it is a right palaver. I mean, like, she says you've got to practice, OK, because it's really difficult. And she was not joking, right? First time I tried it, flew out my hands and hit the lampshade on her desk. No, but listen, Char, listen, because, I mean, where am I going to hide it, right? I mean, Mum's so nosy, she's bound to find it, you know. And I'm going to have a bit of a job persuading her it's toothpaste and a rain hat, aren't I? No, it's not, right? It's £2.50 a tube, right, without prescription. Do you know how much that works out as, Char? About 30p a time. That, Char, is about 15 quid a month, right? Well, 20 quid if it's summer, which is about 180 smackers a year, right? And for something that's supposed to be free, it sounds like a bit of a financial burden to me, and he'll never fork out for anything like that, the Wally. You still going? Because listen, Sharp, how do you fancy saving the money, clubbing together and buying an electric fence?
Look, the thing is, the government's having a bit of trouble dumping this stuff at sea at the moment, so I said to the Prime Minister, you know, it'd be all right if they left some of it with us.
But Hazza!
It's Sir Hazza now, actually.
Sir Hazza, nuclear waste is extremely dangerous!
Which is why it's in a sack.
Yes, a sack lined, no doubt, and I'm gorgeous, with lashings of lovely lead.
No, just a sack.
But Hazza, I'm at a loving loss, my petal. Surely what one's discussing here is one of the most dangerous poisons known to men.
Excuse me!
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shizzy, you're quite right. Known to men and officers.
I don't care who knows it. What I want to know is what happens when we get exposed to this lethal muck.
Now, stop getting hysterical, Shizza. We're perfectly safe. Nuclear waste is like a ferret. You know? You respect it, and it'll respect you. But stuff it down your trousers and you're in for a radioactive scrotum.
Yes, but Hazza, what about the audience? Huh? I mean, supposing something terrible went wrong and they all died. Could ruin our careers. And think of the reviews. Not a bad little show, but the audience got cancer. Might never work again.
I'm telling you, that's why it's in a sack. There's nothing to worry about.
But Hazza, what about the fallout?
It's not going to fall out. That's why I've tied the top with string. See, that's a double granny. You've pretty long fingernails to get that one undone, I can tell you.
Oh, cool, crikey, that's a relief. For a moment there, I thought we were all goners.
Yes, but Hazza, my peachy darling, for how long does the granny need to be knotted?
About 2,000 years.
2,000 years?
Well, yes, that's its half-life.
You mean 4,000 years?
Yes.
I've got 2 weeks panto next Christmas.
Well, of course, if you refuse to do the tiniest little thing for your country...
Yes, well, I think Hazza's being jolly public-spirited. After all, governments have to do something with their waste products.
Yes, I remember the time when they simply used to pop them in the House of Lords.
On the other hand, Hazza, it does seem a trifle smelly to have it dumped on us. I mean, Manchester's absolutely seething with poor districts. Why don't they dump it there?
It's security, Ezra. It's not really a woman's word, but I'm sure you'll understand. If the truth about this little lot gets out, the next thing you know is we'll have Neil Kinnock whining away about dead children not having enough to eat and so on. By putting it in here, in the pretend pub, you see, the government can be absolutely sure that the only people who are ever going to see it are us and our mothers.
Hi, Mum.
It's glowing! Of course it's glowing, you little moron. It's radioactive.
True. Come in, come in, come in. Yes, what is it?
Mr. Thompson told me to bring you this note, sir.
Did he? You're Barclay, are you?
Yes, sir.
Been mobbing around, have you, Barclay?
Sir.
I see. This Perkins, he's a younger boy, I take it?
Yes, sir.
Is he in your house?
No, so he's in Thompson's house. That's when we...
I see. And how old is he, this Perkins?
13, sir.
And you are?
15, sir.
I see. Barclay, I've been a schoolmaster now for 15 years. There isn't much I haven't seen in my time, and believe me, this kind of thing is not uncommon. Not uncommon at all. Damn it, I was young once myself. I know the pressures. I know what it feels like. I'm an understanding man, I hope, Barclay. All you boys cooped up for weeks on end. Naturally, there are going to be temptations and pressures. No, what I'm trying to say is that it's perfectly normal in a boy your age, and you mustn't feel ashamed.
But, sir...
No, Barclay, I hope this school doesn't teach you to feel shame for your own natural, boyish drives and, instincts.
Sir, I don't think you understand,
No,
sir.
damn it, Barclay, haven't I just said, of course I understand. I'm sure I look like some kind of old fuddy-duddy to you. Oh, yes, I know you boys have all kinds of nicknames for me. Behind my back, eh? Oyster face and old arse breath. I wasn't born yesterday, you know. But the point is, we're all flesh and blood here. We do understand these things. Now, this Perkins, he's not unhappy about it all, is he?
Oh, no, sir. Far from it. We're very happy together.
Yeah, all right, Barclay. May not be an occasion for shame, but that doesn't mean we have to feel pride, does it? No. Well, frankly, I'm inclined to say no more about this business, Barclay. I want you to have a good, long chat with the chaplain. And for the rest of the term, try and find some kind of natural outlet for all these wild, savage, untamed, boyish urges of yours. Rugger or something. I should avoid swimming until you're more sure of yourself. Rugger. That's a game invented for just such situations as this. You look like a healthy boy.
Girl, sir. I'm a healthy girl, sir.
Girl?
Yes, sir. You have them in the sexy form, if you remember, sir.
Girl? Girl! You unnatural strumpet! Bend over that chair! I'll teach you to corrupt young boys, you harlot!
And cue the roadshow.
Datsun, Sony, Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Kawasaki. It reads like a list of Japanese companies, doesn't it? Companies who have created an economic miracle. I'm Jan Monty.
And I'm Fluff Coverley.
And we're over here in Tokyo to find out why.
This is their decade. Not only are they
Very clever, but also as a nation, the Japanese are filthy.
rich.
But how? 39 years ago, the atomic bombings of two major Japanese cities resulted in the tragic devaluation of the yen.
Let's see if we can't get this into some kind of perspective. 25 years ago, the Americans were, if you like, the Japanese. And before that, the British were the Japanese. And now, in a way, the Japanese are the Japanese. The Americans are now the British, and the British are just a little bit shiny.
I'm Jan Monty.
And I'm Fluff Coverley.
Hello, Mr. Sony. Yes, hello, this is Jan Monty.
And Fluff Coverley.
From Money Talks. Mr. Sony, we were wondering if you could...
Sorry, you haven't set up your own camera, have you?
Please, wire. Yes.
Good, well, can I ask you first of all, how on earth did this all start?
And quite quickly, actually, because we haven't got many tens.
When I made my first tape recorder in 1954, I had nothing except a small workshop and my own genius. I realized I must create a factor my Western rivals did not have. Something small, efficient, and cheap to run. In 1954, I discovered it. A Japanese worker. Like the later breakthrough, the microchip, a Japanese worker costs practically nothing and can do almost anything. Next year, in reply to the new Datsun Walkman, Hitachi start marketing motorcars in Great Britain. The Hitachi Prime Minister. However, with an eye to rising fuel costs, we will not be putting an engine in. Instead, we supply 4 Japanese workers to push it around. Provided you do not drive past any golf courses, it should go for years.
Next, we talk to Red Hiroshito, Japan's foremost trade union agitator.
Mr. Hiroshito, how did all this come about?
Yes, I fight for the worker. What else can I do? Our demands are simple and few. A better, more tuneful company song, and fewer sit-ups in the company exercise session.
Before we spoke to him, Red Hiroshito had been sentenced to death for preaching vicious totalitarian communism.
It is honor. I must die in traditional Japanese corporate manner, with latest model Hitachi electric carving knife.
know what? I feel a bit rough. I hope those sacks are adequately fastened.
Katie, he's coming! He's coming!
Stop them!
Still going enough to make you win. You'd have thought a pier would support you. I mean, it's different for the loony lefties. You don't expect any better. But Lord Stezzer, really?
Your bums out the windy bombs are slew. Stand firm, boys.
Well, I got another one. I must say the postman who delivered it didn't look at all. What's all this?
They're traitors, Hazza. They've joined Greenpeace.
Greenpeace? God, your naivety astounds me. Don't you realise that by putting up with a bit of nuclear waste, we're ensuring cheap lighting and nuclear weapons?
Or do you want the Russians to walk in the dark?
Particularly disappointed with you, Lord Stezzer.
Yes, well, this is not a party issue, Huzzer. It's purely a matter of conscience. I just cannot condone the indiscriminate dumping of nuclear waste in our areas of outstanding natural beauty.
What, this old pretend set?
I was referring to myself, Ezra.
Stand by, Ezra. I'm going to break the line.
Oh, no, you're not.
Bye! Hazza!
Stop it!
Bye! Bye!
Boiled beef and carrots. An accident. 3 Mile Island, China syndrome. Thank you and excuse me.
Well, I hope you're satisfied.
Mr. Lynch, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can I introduce my wife? It's Mr. Ruxton.
Mrs. Lynch, of course. We spoke on the phone, I believe. Do come on through. Pleasant drive down, I hope.
Yes, thank you, under the circumstances.
Yes, of course, this must be very painful for you both.
Well, it certainly seems very peaceful here.
It is, isn't it? Yes, yes. You may search from east to west, but there's none so peaceful as autumn rest.
My wife is a little anxious not having seen the place, and of course, we're both concerned that we're doing the right thing.
Well, now, of course, you see, that's a concern that does you both great credit, if I may say so. But I'm sure you need have no fear. Mrs. Roxburgh will be very happy with us here. Where is your good lady mother?
Well, we thought we'd just lock her in the car for the moment until we had a wee chat with you.
Lock her in?
Yeah, in the boot. It's just a precaution. She still thinks it's an old people's home.
Whatever else would she think, my goodness?
Oh, quite. It's very convincing. No, it's just a precaution.
Do we have crossed wires here, I'm wondering?
Oh, no. You see, if Mother does get wind of anything, she could be off over the fields in a flash. And let me tell you, she can be a right devil to catch.
Really?
Very keen on orienteering. She'll keep on the run for weeks.
Might I ask, how old is Mrs. Roxburgh?
49.
49.
And there's another question there, isn't there? Is autumn rest necessarily the ideal place for her?
You've been very highly recommended.
Thank you, yes. But what I mean is, if she's only 49 and, as you say, evidently not 100% keen on coming to stay with us here, it does make our job that much more difficult, doesn't it? Especially if she's as physically fit as you say she is.
Well, now, we don't expect you to fight her. No. We thought perhaps a wee something in her cocoa, falling masonry.
Runaway tractor. Just an honest-to-goodness axe. Well...
Am I to understand that you want your mother killed?
There you are, dear. My wife was convinced you'd have some fancy name for it.
But you do want her killed?
Please.
It's not a decision we've arrived at lightly, Mr. Ruxton. We wouldn't want you to think that.
Oh, no, of course not. No. But what I'm wondering here is, have you properly and fully understood the purposes of a place like Autumn Rest?
Now, Mr. Axton, we have had very good reports from the Favorings.
You had old Mrs. Favorings dead within a week.
But the cause of Mrs. Favering's demise was heart failure.
In a week?
Oh, from natural causes.
Oh, yes.
From natural causes?
So you say.
Well, what could be more natural than rushing into an old lady's room with a sheet over your head, eh? Now, where is the old bag?
I think it's my husband. Oh, God, Norman!
God, isn't that awful? Does that ever happen to you? When you go into a room and you completely forget what it was you went in for?
Let me come out. Obviously, I've come out now. I can remember what it was. I don't know, the twists and turns of the human mind. Ah, here it is.
His latest cult pop revival is not Tamla, Bluebeat or rock and roll, but the madrigal. Its dedicated followers, the courtiers or ladies in waiting, religiously recreate the original styles out of anything from toilet rolls to string. But Gary, is the madrigal really back?
The madrigal never went away, right? We've always been courtiers, us. Never listen to nothing but madrigals, yeah? It's the only music there is.
We hate mods, punks, Teds,
Brass bands.
Gregorian chanters, like everyone except us.
You're wearing a magnificent dress.
Yeah, well, you've got to have the gear, haven't you? If you didn't have the gear, look right at you.
Total div.
Absolute space bonker.
Complete monkey nerd.
Total clut flicker.
I know, Mickey Fleet.
That's because you've got gear, then you're all right.
Of course, we're strictly roots madrigals. Us, no sack bats, no serpents, just three-part harmony and no message.
My daddy reckons I'm a right nerdy div, but I don't care. He's a flid, right? Going around all day in a suit of armour, strumming a loop. He's a right minky spaz monkey bonker.
So the young people, they said, were finding in humankind the lost madness of an unborn generation. Or to put it more simply, were unemployed. Are finding on the street something more than curbstones and dogs' business. They found style.
I'm afraid you're creating a bit of a disturbance.
Like this young man, for example, has on a plain English woolen suit in Tyrol blue with silvered ornamenting a la Grec and broderie anglaise double-fronted.
Well, that's just where you're wrong. I've actually chosen a strong double-weave worsted two-pleat trouser in royal Dutch serge, topped with an Italian-style knit tunic in single-breasted Dolomite lambswool with platinum-pressed buttons and matching headwear. The ruched Californian-made brassiere is my own design and incorporates a tucked four-point crepe-de-chine knicker edged with Danish aluminium.
All of which adds up to just one word: inner-city degradation.
Well, actually, a lot of people make that mistake. In actual fact, it adds up to two words: perverted policeman.
So the question remains, is street fashion 1984 or brave new Animal Farm? Either way, hang on to those squeezy bottles.
Well, Lord Stizzer, what do you think? Will I pull through?
Not a chance, my putrefying little puppet. You're as good as dead already.
You smooth-talking bastard, Your Highness.
We're all done for. It seems you've learnt your lesson a bit late, Huzzer.
My lesson? The incident was caused by Greenpeace anarchists meddling with things they simply do not understand.
Oh, did nothing come of your appeals for help from friends in high places, Lord Stezza?
Nothing, my love, bliss, crisis, nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. What's that lying on the doorstep with special written all over it?
Why? A telemessage! Who can it be from?
Oh, it's from my friends in high places. It says we can't possibly be unwell because this kind of thing could never, ever occur. The safety regulations are so strict and so efficient that an accident like this could never, ever, ever happen.
Hurrah! We're saved!
Phew, thank God for that. Now I can get this ridiculous wig off.